again.
Classic. Gotta get the microphone in there. Hey, everybody. Today is July 26, 2024. I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
And it's Hanging with Uncle. That's weird doing that. I don't normally do that part. How's it going, man?
Good, man.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Good. Hope everybody had a wonderful week. Pay yourself today, definitely, especially when rent is on the horizon. Oh, my God. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, and also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live and put new content out there.
We're doing different things today. I don't know. I think we're just like messing around at the moment and just bored. But how was your week overall, man? Anything interesting?
You know, it was pretty laid back, man.
Yes. Yep.
It's been really quiet. I actually had to go to work today, working in the pro shop. So,
nice.
Congrats. Basically, the golf course where I work is closed, but it was open for anyone who wants to come and use the putting range or the driving range,
okay.
Or, eat at the snack shop, or we have a simulator.
Are there actually people who want to come to the snack shop just to individually eat?
Yeah, they do. Because really, because I live in a 55 and over neighborhood, there's not really a lot of options.
Makes sense.
So the pro shop, snack shop is close by.
Okay.
And a lot of residents live on the golf course.
I'm sure it's inexpensive too. It's not too bad.
It's really not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So
work week was a work week for me. The week was just long. Overall, week was long. Had a day with the kid. I told you about that earlier, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a talk and all, and then keep an eye on your kids and what they say at school. But overall, it's been a wonderful week, honestly. It's been a good week. I'm ready to just relax from it. And we're trying not to do too much, but it is my sister's birthday this weekend, and also we have a party with her family, too. So we're busy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get started. We want to talk about a major topic.
New blood.
The week.
Yes.
Yes. Feeling fresh, feeling new. Ziploc fresh is what I used to say back in the day. Kamala Harris is running for president as the current vice president, right?
Correct.
Joe Biden is finishing out his term and looking stronger than ever, too. He's actually doing pretty well at the moment, too, making some moves and doing some changes. But not the main point of the conversation. Right?
No.
Kamala Harris is bringing freshness to the political campaign. Her first video was actually very, very, it was well put together.
It was.
And very empowering to it. You can feel it as well. You can feel the empowerment through it.
I love the Beyonce music.
Yes, it was really well choreographed. Thank you. La, 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 la. Very well choreographed too. Music was powerful, has a huge meaning to it as well. And it caters to the young, but also she's catering to the old or the elder, if correct me, as well. 30,000 plus elderly black women appeared in a high school gymnasium, all dressed up in the same outfit she was wearing to watch her speech. And it filled the gymnasium past the capacity. And you would say 3,000, oh my God, that's not a lot. You have to remember the demographic that was there. Elderly black women were there in attendance, or elderly women of minority were there in attendance because, man, it was beautiful too.
Times are changing.
And they mean business when they are organized too.
Yeah.
When the people who are able are on the left side walking and filtering in on their own, and people who are all on their scooters are on the right side going in. They mean business. We're trying to get everybody inside. So
honestly, and I feel like this, man.
Yeah.
As far as the Gen Zers who look down on the baby boomer generation, oh, you guys are too old, the same mistakes, blah, 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 Social Security's not going to be around, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is we've always been here. We've always been fighting the same fight.
Yep.
Welcome to the party.
Yep.
Now we're in numbers, united.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to separate us. We've been trying to get this for your generation our entire lives.
And, I love that she's trying to just build that bridge over where the river that we're drowning in so we can just move on. That's the idea. She wants to be that bridge of moving on and being done with what we're doing. So I think she's going to focus on correcting a lot of ills that you and I have complained here on the show. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we have enough to talk about in the future.
Honestly, and it's like George Washington said in his farewell speech, man. Nothing you do will depress me from the idea of retirement. Everybody has his time.
Everybody
and
has.
Thank you, President Biden, for doing what you're doing, for the reason you're doing it. Personally, I still believe you had it in you to do 4 more years, but things what they are, I'm still on board with Vice President Harris taking the torch and running the next 4 years.
And I'm going to shout out to the chat real quick. Hi, ladies. Lady and Debster are on right now. How are you guys doing? Hope you had a wonderful week. Hi, Beb. And Debster, we're going to get to that topic in like a few seconds. Okay? We'll get there soon. Like she has something in here. I'm going to throw your opinion and your point of view in there too.
Okay.
But I think just honestly, one, how she's catering to, I've always said in our show, power has shifted, and not from money, but from followership. We're about to see that actually happen in our presidential election coming up.
It's funny you say that, because, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I always talk about how the one thing a lot of people pay attention to is the one thing we shouldn't pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But again, in this case, I digress. The amount of donors that are new, small dollar donors to her campaign are over 60% over 2020.
And she raised like 80 million plus in like 24 hours.
I'm saying all those small dollar donations are going to result in votes.
Absolutely.
And those are new people that probably were not encouraged to vote.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, because most of the money that she's collected isn't super PACs and things like that from businesses. It is individual donated dollars coming from people who believe in the new step, the new freshness, the new future. A lot of counter arguments I've been seeing online is like, oh, well, he made this much and blah, blah, blah. That's easy for him. You're not understanding the idea. Literally putting Gene's point and my point together, it's individual people who count as an individual vote are also individually putting their dollar down as well.
Like Kendrick Lamar said, you ain't like us.
Oh, man. A lot of people were hoping she would use that song for her first one. But ironically, Kendrick Lamar is on that Beyonce song she chose.
Yeah.
Also, reaching out to the young is where I was going to get to next. She's hitting each demographic, Gene. She knows what she's doing.
Stride.
It's going to be so glorious. And that is just one ad. That is one campaign ad. There's another one that she just posted on her funny media, the one that's not the serious one.
Yeah.
And it was Trump talking, where it's like, she's the so crazy strong prosecutor, and I'm the felon, and it's Kamala Harris supports this message. Yeah. Right afterwards.
Right.
Now, the next part of the conversation I want to get to, and Debster did kind of kick it off already. VP choices. Okay?
All right.
VP choices. I do like Kelly, and it seems like that's like the population's idea of where she's going to go. But also, Debster here says Andy Bashir.
Andy, governor of Kentucky.
Yes, is a good shoe-in. A lot of people are saying, oh God, it starts with an S. Shapiro? Is that him?
Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania.
A lot of people are saying Shapiro, but your man Buttigieg is not in the main conversation of media. He's in the main conversation on social media. A lot of people are learning how to type the name Buttigieg. So online.
Again, if you think about it, if you go along the lines of staying young and thinking long term, how old is Pete Buttigieg, and how much younger is he than Kamala Harris? In 8 years, how old will Pete Buttigieg be?
He'll be ready to go.
It's like a farm club, dude.
That's something we've said beforehand. Like, we literally talked about getting the new in, the fresh, ready to go, trained in, OJT, let's go. We're going in, right?
Yeah.
And Buttigieg is that direction.
So I'll answer Deb's question. I think Bashir would be a good pick for the reason that number one, Kentucky voted to codify Roe v. Wade into its constitution. Beshear is the governor there. He's popular there. Not so much that maybe they're not going to carry the state, but it would be a lot of excitement in the Southern Bible Belt about why he was elected and why he supports Kamala Harris and would be a good VP pick.
Okay.
I think Mark Kelly would be a good pick because Arizona has a Democratic governor, Katie Hobbs. So if Mark Kelly steps down as senator and runs as vice president, remember constitutionally the governor of the state selects the next senator until that election term comes up. So
and guess what?
When would Mark Kelly be up for election again?
Okay.
And now Ruben Gallego's on the ticket right now. So what? 2 more years, and then we'll be thinking about it. So 2 more years, we'd still have a Democratic senator.
And I think I like the Kelly approach. And no, I want to I want to explain why I like the Kelly approach. Is because again, she's doing the how I think she should do it, and is catering to the public and media and trying to get more of what she can get. And Mark Kelly does cater to some conservative directions, and I think some people will be okay with voting for a Kelly Harris or Harris Kelly with, especially here in Arizona, in those flip states too. The
only negative thing I can see nationally on a campaign with Kelly on it, his wife Gabby Giffords, who was the congressman down there in Tucson, I want to call that AZ's second. She was shot, remember? And so they are very anti-NRA. Okay. And that's a big organization with a lot of money to push against.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, that's the only anchor I could see Mark Kelly bringing.
Lance Bass endorsed her as well, Kamala Harris. There's these huge celebrities. You know how people are saying celebrities need to come out and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're doing it now. Like, literally.
Oh, yeah. Pink has.
Obama literally called her. Yeah. With Michelle there, too, as well. Which is going to make all the conservatives upset, all the MAGA hats upset, because now Obama's going to run the presidency again. This is what they're saying is how he sat in his dungeon typing away to Biden on what to do.
All right, so I will say this, all right, for those of you that think that, it would be crazy not to think that. However, it would be in an advisory capacity.
Yeah.
Hey, Barack, you dealt with, President so-and-so of, country so-and-so. What were your dealings with him? What were your what
is he able to advise like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like he should be
because
able to.
Every president has the ability to receive presidential daily briefings from the Secret Service
and the secrets that we don't know that they can pass between each other.
But the president, there's only one president, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He can decide if presidents do not get Secret Service. So Cadet Bonespurs does not get Secret Service updates every day.
Dang. Deb has something here. She goes, I have to vent about Vance. He's a dickhead. He's had 3 different last names, and he's also changed his middle name from Donald to David. Who the hell is this bozo, really?
So, all right, Deb, I heard something today, and I started laughing because I don't know if you remember when, was it Liz Truss was Prime Minister of England? And they were comparing her to a head of cabbage, like which one would wilt and go away first? Right?
Oh my God!
And Liz got the boot and she was gone. And they're looking at J.D. Vance and comparing him to a head of cabbage. Right?
Oh God! They're performing rituals on our.
So I think really the question is when they dump J.D. because they can do it right before. Or right, if they're smart, they do it right after the Democratic convention. But still, who would you get to replace JD?
True, so it's like the
right
kind of make sure the dominoes fall in the right direction.
Yeah. You would have Uncle Tim Scott coming out of the woodworks, with his knee pads. And
with his knee pads.
Yeah.
No, I'm refreshed, is what I think is a good feel about how the future looks. So
there's a lot of that going around.
Hopefully it continues. It stays, I don't know, contagious. Because it was only been one advertisement, and a lot of people freaked out about it, but it got 80 million views also within the
well, there's
48
only
hours.
105 days left. So we vote in November, which means in October we'll get our early ballots here in Arizona. So we're pretty much just called, damn near the first week of August.
Mm.
Say 2 months' time, we'll have our ballots.
Okay. I need to update my address. I need you to help me with that.
You can do it online.
I know. Sure.
Yes, that's all right. We'll do it right now. Well, we'll do it after the show, Yeah.
Later. No. Let's get one more topic in. Okay?
Yes.
Real quick.
Yeah, this is important.
This is an important one. The grilling and maiming of our Secret Service leader.
Kimberly Cheatle?
Kimberly Cheatle.
Yes.
Cheatle.
She resigned the next day.
Yes, she resigned the next day afterwards. Thank goodness. Good riddance. Because looking at just like track record and hearing how everybody, not only how they talked to her, but how she really defended herself in her case too, it just showed to me that she didn't know what she was doing in any situation, in any scenario, or how to plan for it. Absolutely crazy that the idea that that roof was that close to the president and had nobody covering it whatsoever it blows my mind still.
We talked about that last week on last week's show.
Yeah, it still blows my mind today. But the grilling was there. Lady goes, I've been telling you to update your address for 3 years. I know, I'm trying, okay? But it's just, I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to update my address, okay? I'm trying. But the grilling of her it honestly was like sweet to see as well, because not only was it's not that I feed off of that kind of energy, but it was right and left coming together, and even though some weren't as intelligent at it as others and they needed to slow down on it and needed to chill, they all came together in understanding that you did not protect a president correctly. What is your issue? And you can't give us any information. And she kept hiding behind the FBI investigation clause thing as well.
No, again, we talked about this last week. Mm-hmm. The Secret Service dropped the ball. I told you why the Secret Service dropped the ball. When you start blaming other law enforcement agencies for your own failure.
When you start scapegoating like the president that you didn't protect.
Bye-bye.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
But yes, they did fire her the next day. And who was it that is now in charge again? The next
next guy.
We had it up here. Dang, it's gone now. But they did put a new guy in charge. I think his name was William. Never mind. No, I don't know. Look it up on your own. We're not your informative person thing. We're not your news.
Right.
You look it up on your own. Forgot to put that in there earlier anyways. But honestly, good riddance, because we do need to protect our presidents, especially with what's going on now these days. We have to understand, again, they open up these new doors, really, and opportunities for others, because it was possible.
Hopefully, I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, I'm not like, the be-all, end-all of law enforcement. Trust me. But I do have experience, and my experience on, at least 2 different occasions working with the Secret Service, I know the level of professionalism that I saw and what they had covered.
And it didn't
and that's exactly what I did not see in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bottom line, but deserved, of course. We did want to bring that up real quick because I feel like we're going to lose it on the main topic, because I do want to hop back to Kamala again, because there's just so much more to talk about with her. But we did want to throw that out there real quick because it was a little topic we wanted to talk about. But go look at that on your own, because now, her next approach. Back to Kamala running for president. Her next approach definitely is going to be for the ladies. I do foresee her next big thing talking and aiming towards the women of America and trying to get them not to rally with her because women all over, but everyone has their own opinion and their own mindset. You can think on your own, but that is her next step. because she's already hit every other demographic already. So she's got to go to the young females of America and have them feel like they can vote. The mindset I feel like she needs to help break, where I was going to get to, is that a lot of women feel the pressure that they have to vote the same as their husbands.
You know, honestly, I wonder, and you tell me, and really, everybody else out there, all of our listeners, this question is for you guys. What do you think of the strategy of Kamala Harris running on the platform of expanding the Supreme Court? Expanding. So right now we have 9, 6 conservative justices and 3.
What benefit would that have for us?
So back when Merrick Garland was denied by Mitch McConnell to be on the Supreme Court, that left it 4-4, when it should have been 5-4 in favor of reality. Okay.
Reality. Okay. Got it.
So because they left it 4-4, and then when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, and they threw Amy Coney Barrett in there real quick, you know, that flipped it forever to now when Kavanaugh and Gorsuch were appointed. Now they have a 6-3 majority of MAGA judges, and reality has gone out the window.
Gotcha, okay.
So if we expand it to 13, half of 13 would be 7, which would give, you know, the next Democratic president, Biden, Harris, you know, whoever's in there.
Yeah.
Well, it would be Harris. To campaign on getting enough congressional people on board, because it would have to start in Congress, and to get enough senators elected, because you're going to need 60 votes to get it through the Senate, to right the wrong. Because let's face it, in my opinion, what the Supreme Court did with the immunity decision was unconstitutional.
Oh, absolutely.
So if the top court in the land is unconstitutional, where do we get to appeal?
Exactly.
And so I hope Kamala Harris, or at least would like to know your opinion on what you think about her running on expanding the Supreme Court.
Honestly, any change within the Supreme Court, I think, would benefit us at the moment, especially with removing said individuals. I don't know if she can do that. Could she do that? Could she? Could the president? Sorry.
No. Again, so to get rid of a Supreme Court justice, we'd have to go through impeachment, which starts in the House of Representatives.
Okay.
So you need Democrats in charge for an actual vote to get to the floor on impeaching a Supreme Court justice.
Deb hopped in again. Sorry, Deb. She goes, I'm not a fan of our Supreme Court with 6 conservative Catholics. So I used to be Catholic until they started going back to Vatican II?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a book reference?
So that's like one of the reasons I stopped going to Catholic church too, Deb. You know, the priest was passing out cards that all you had to do was put in the mailbox to send to your elected representative, letting them know you were against abortion. Where is the separation of church and state?
Not there.
But, you know, it's like, if you're going to start practicing that, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and when the church tried to go into my pocket and take my money, that was another thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm good, actually. But overall, I agree that it does need a change for sure, the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
An expansion, yeah, definitely. Throw more in there.
And then maybe legislate to get churches to pay taxes if they want to participate in, you know, getting involved in politics.
Exactly. But I don't know, man. Bottom line, we need to take God out of government. Like, that's it. I don't know when it started happening. When did I start going to church again? I don't know. But I hear more about God than I have in a while. Like
it came in the 1968 election with Richard Nixon and the Southern Strategy. Long story short, just look it up yourself. The Southern Strategy. That's when Democrats, which were called Dixiecrats, flipped their voting registration to Republican because they could not stand black people getting the right to vote. When the Civil Rights Act was passed, they flipped their voting affiliation to Republicans. So,
I hear that too often.
Yeah.
Some people feeling that way.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Anyways, Let us know how you guys think in the comments down there, or what you think, how you think, whatever. However you want to do it. Down in the comments down there. Or see us in the show for future when we go live. We're going to do our dumbass of the week.
Yes,
now.
It is time.
I'm going to go first. Because
right.
Mine actually is kind of a, not necessarily a PSA, I guess, but on our show, we are not afraid to call out bad cops. Not afraid to talk about stories that people need to hear about. And I'm sure you have already heard it already, but the Sonia Massey incident, or the story, the shooting that took her life in her own home when she called the police when she was having a mental breakdown. How do you end up shot when you don't have a weapon on yourself? I don't know. But body cam footage shows cops entering the home, talking with her, and honestly responding to her as if she were a unstable person in a sense. Mm-hmm. But then when they ask her to go, or even advise her about going to turn the pot off on the stove that was boiling, not being taken care of, she walks over to take it and put it over the sink, and the cop thinks she's going to pour it on him and ends up shooting her in the face and killing her. Anyways, gross. Sorry, I didn't mean to be this specific, but it's what happens. You can find the video online if you want to watch. You don't have to really watch everything because every news media outlet has blurred out the bad parts, but it's even a point to where the video has been enhanced and noticed that people are noticing she only had the pot holders in her hands when she put her hands up and dropped downwards. So the spilling of the water that you see in the video is actually the pot falling off the sink edge because it can't balance, not her throwing it, which is what is being stirred and talked about. But anyways, go check it on your own, hear about it. Dumbass of the week goes to that cop. I'm not going to say his name and glorify it to him, but I wanted to use that moment, or at least to talk about that. We need to at least do something about funding with the police in this country because they're hitting the dumbass pedestal too often.
And so I will say this, just from my point of view,
mm-hmm.
being from ex-law enforcement, retired law enforcement, yes, we need to hold cops accountable, but I think the whole phrase of defund the police is not very well thought out, not very intelligent.
And Debster has a very valid point, actually. She said, I thought cops weren't supposed to aim for the face. They're supposed to be
center mass
and disable, right? Disarm.
Well, first of all, you're also taught safety. So if you don't want to be in danger of having boiling water thrown on you, don't be within a distance of having someone throw boiling water at you.
Exactly. Back up.
If you
or be the civil servant that's supposed to take
sense.
care and help the person. Go and turn it off your damn self.
Dude, I can tell you, again, being retired from Compton,
mm-hmm.
I have been in several justifiable shooting situations,
mm-hmm.
and not one time did I ever discharge my weapon in the line of duty.
There's no reason for a weapon to be discharged within the 30 seconds that has been drawn when there's no other weapon. The other cop that you get the body cam footage of, because they're hiding the other guys, they're not showing it to us.
Yeah.
He, you can tell he delays, getting it out. He's like, what? We're drawing here, kind of? Okay. He has that kind of draw. The other guy is, boom, he was ready for it.
Yeah.
Straight to her face. And also, Britt has a valid point. She goes, she apologized and everything when she was, handling the pot, and you can hear it in the video, and she was sorry. And they even say not to give her medical attention and medical aid. The guy said, no, don't even waste the Medicaid on that.
Yeah, you talk about someone with mental instability.
You can see when he's leaving normally with cops. They don't know. Well, fun fact for you guys, when you turn on and off a camera, the camera pre-records the first 30 seconds beforehand. It's really interesting and weird, but it does a capture ahead of time. But when you push the button, it snapshots that 30-second caption beforehand, and if you turn it off, it still runs a little bit in the background, but saves those 30 seconds and then keeps running a little bit in the background. So it doesn't necessarily just turn off. They're even going to have cams now that will activate when they draw their gun, too. We're going to try to get that, too. But it just goes to show, when all the other cops looking at you when you're leaving are upset and you can see it in their face,
it's not good.
You did something wrong. Anyways, dumbass of the week goes to that guy. Enough from me.
So my dumbass of the week is Harriet Hageman.
Oh, man.
Republican from Wyoming. This is the lady that replaced Liz Cheney in Congress. And this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray was in Congress. And again, this is what I love, the audacity about the right side of the aisle, and especially in Congress.
Okay.
They make these outlandish accusations with no proof. So she accused him of having FBI plants in the crowd to be part of January 6th.
Yeah, I've heard this.
You know, and they're not letting it go. And, you know, again, it's like they are that stupid. They really are. Harriet, you're a dumbass.
Got it.
You know, I have nothing else to say. There's so much evidence that's out there, overwhelming, that the FBI had nothing to do with it. This was all Cadet Bone Spurs and his incitement. You're a dumbass.
They try to plant fear in the unknown to people like that all the time. People that have a platform, they want to do it. Alex Jones was doing that the other day too. He's talking about how Biden is not even him. It's a clone. There's a clone of Biden walking around now. And so they didn't bother to fix the clone of Biden's health issues because he still is sick. They're trying to fearmonger, man. And it's the same thing with that FBI story.
You know, that's why knowledge is power.
Dumbass.
I had a conversation today with somebody about Kamala Harris wanting to defund the police. I know we're running over time.
No, you're good. We can't fix stupid.
I'm just
like
like,
said.
Number one, how are you going to accuse someone of wanting to defund the police when they have spent their entire life going to school to better themselves, to educate themselves, to get a degree, to go to law school? And this is not cheap, by the way. Remember, this costs a lot of money.
Right.
Go to law school.
Dedication.
Then you have to practice. You have to take the bar exam and then practice law. So there was a lot of hard work, a lot of turmoil, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears along the way. And you think for someone to work their whole life to strive for becoming a district attorney, to attorney general, to do all that because they want to defund the police.
Yeah. It's again, it's another one of those fear tactics.
Exactly.
Trying to get people, they're going to take away police officers. And really that term, defund the police, isn't taking money away from it. It's new avenues for money in a different way and used more intelligently. But anyways, that's all that we have for today. Thank you guys for attending. Thank you for coming into the show. Hello, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button to see whenever we go live and whenever we post content in the future. I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
And it's been Hanging with Uncle.
Remember, be kind to one another and treat each other the way you